Hi all, welcome back. On this episode of RC Kicks, we're working on the Aero Avante again. Now we've built the chassis, so we're going to focus on the body. I've got the paint for once in stock, so stay tuned to find out how we get on. Hi, welcome to RC Kicks. On today's show, well, we're painting up the body to the Aero Avante. Now, if you haven't seen the chassis build video of that, I'll put a link up here. Go check that out, as this probably won't make much sense if you haven't seen that before. So go check those out and then come back to this. Right, very simple body. Cutting out is going to be a little bit more tricky, but the actual colours are pure PS16 metallic blue. Basically paint everything. The stickers cover the cockpit and everything. So it's a very entry-level kit, this one. So the body shouldn't be too difficult. Looking at the decals, they look a little bit more challenging, but nothing too tricky, I guess. I guess the main challenge will be the swooping lines, getting them cut out nicely. But hey, we'll deal with that when we come to it. First of all, we've got to cut it out. So that's what we're going to do first. So there you go, it didn't take very long at all to cut out the body, and it wasn't as difficult as I thought. Around here it's a little bit of a challenge and up by the nose, but with a bit of sanding you can get them nice and sharp and get all the edges curved nicely. So all I've got to do now is paint it metallic blue PS16. Now luckily, being a bit of an entry kit, all I've got to do is blow it over completely. I don't even need to do the cockpit. The stickers will cover that as well. So it's a really easy paint job. So it's more trouble cutting it out than it is actually painting it. Now believe it or not, it's not actually snowing in the UK, being that it's May. The sun is out and it's not even that windy, so I suppose I better get out there quick and paint it before it starts snowing again. The weather in the UK has been all over the place lately. Oh, and there's one other thing. The postman has just delivered this. So if you want to have a sneak peek at this, stay tuned to the end. So there you go, a very simple body. Just 3 coats of the blue, and then I backed it with 2 coats of white just to protect it and to make the blue pop as best it can. All we've got to do now is take off the protective film, cut out the decals, fit the decals, and then run it around the track. So let's crack on and get that done. So there you go, all finished. What did I think? Well, cutting out the body wasn't that difficult at all. I do like the colour. It's my favourite Tamiya paint, so it really pops, especially when you back it in white. It keeps it nice and vibrant. So painting up, super easy. The only thing I would recommend, if you're going to do one of these, take a little bit extra time, mask off the canopy. Using the stickers, yeah, I'm not overly keen on it. It's a little bit tricky, but you can get it right. I'm quite happy with what I've got, but you end up with a seam down the middle regardless. And also I think it would look better if it was in smoke. It would give you a proper canopy look, so that would be something worth doing. Sticker wise, it's a bit messy. Stickers, not that difficult. The only ones that are a bit of a pain are the ones inside here, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 stickers inside each one. If you wanted to, you could mask them up and paint them as well. It depends on how far you want to go with it, but it would be possible to mask those off and paint those in black while you're doing the masking up the canopy, and then you could blow them in black afterwards. Unfortunately, it didn't grow on me while I was building it. The chassis is okay and quite a nice, easy chassis to build, so that's okay. The body, it just looks a bit messy to me. There's lots of bits and pieces going on, and it just doesn't pull itself together at the end. But that's just my opinion. You know, if you like this, good on you, you know, from that point of view. It will be staying in the collection as it finishes up all my Avantes. So I'm lucky enough to have one of every Avante ever released in 1/10, not all the other little tiny Avantes. So that leaves us with taking it round the track. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take it outside, blast it around the BGRAT track and get it to set a time. So let's go do that. So there you go, just a short, quick run. 2 reasons why that happened. 1, I lost a load of the footage. And 2, I stopped because I thought it was too slow. The silver cam motor in it made it feel so slow and it wasn't punchy at all. So I kind of thought, no, I need to put a sports tuned motor in it or something a little bit faster to give it a chance, as I think that would be a bit of an unfair. I don't know what I forget what pinion is in this by stock, but it just didn't have any urgency to it. So I also stopped from that point of view. So what I will do is I will run it again in another contest around the BGRAT track. But I wrote down the time that the best lap that the car did, and I don't remember the times. I have to go and look at my chart. So I saw the time and I didn't think anything of it. Then I went and checked and it did it in 8.10. Yeah, don't quite understand why it felt slow. That's as fast as the Schumacher K1 Aero, its joint position. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think it's because I could drive it flat out, and when it went around the corners it was well mannered and I didn't have to slow down as much. I think on the track, being that there's not massive spaces where you can drive it flat out, because I could drive it so fast without it losing control or anything like that, it put in a good time. And the last 180-degree turn before the straight, I could drive flat out, which I've never done before. And I put that down to it running too slowly. But the stopwatch does not lie, and there you go. I would have thought it was much slower than that. But I will put a sports tuned in this and we will run it again to see if it's fast. So, taking that on board, what is my review of the Tamiya Aero Avante? Yeah, I don't like it. Chassis, I quite like the chassis. I like the way the prop shaft sits in its own tunnel and it's away from all the dirt. Easy to build, highly recommend it as a first chassis if you're getting into this, if you can find one. Handles really easily, drives very well mannered. I just can't get past this ugly body. I don't know what Tamiya were thinking. Now I know it's been ported over from their smaller little running ones, and I guess Tamiya would say that the reason it was done is to try and encourage those fans to migrate and do 1/10 buggies. That makes good business sense and I can kind of understand it. But it is just so ugly, they could have done a much better job. So I'm sorry Tamiya, but it is ugly. But it will stay in the collection, and there you go. Bit of a contradiction, I know. It will stay in the collection, but I don't like the look of it. But it's because of what it actually is. It's supposed to be part of the Avante family. I think they let the side down, so there you go. But overall, I just hate it. Anyway, thanks very much. Please like and subscribe and hit that thumbs up button as it helps the algorithm push out the RC Kicks content and hopefully grow the channel so I can continue to bring you content and keep improving the quality as I go. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.